Hey guys, I always get a lot of people asking me, what's the first thing you should do when you get to the Philippines? What are the first things you should do? The first steps you should take? The first things you should look into? Well, the first thing you need is housing, obviously. And you need at least, I would say, a month to 3 months, probably in one location to use as your core spot, your main location that you can travel back and forth to, have a place where you can put your stuff so you don't have to carry around all your luggage everywhere you go in the Philippines. A lot of guys don't know where they're going when they first come here. They're trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure out places to go. A lot of guys, they watch vloggers and say, well, I want to go to Dumaguete. You know, that's where I want to go. Dumaguete is getting kind of filled up now. It's kind of losing its luster. There's a lot of things going on down there. Some people call it a civil war or something. I'm not sure what the hell is going on down there. And I'm glad I don't live down there. In my area, you know, every expat location you go to, there's going to be some expat bullcrap going on there. And it goes on in my place. It goes on in other places. It happens everywhere. It's up in Subic. It's up in Angeles. There's always some dickheads that move into the area and wreck it for everybody else. And that's the sad part of the Philippines. It's usually the expats that are worse than the Filipinos. They're the ones you got to watch out for. They're the ones that are going to make it tough for you. They're the ones that are going to, you know, try to do things to you and stuff like that. So you always got to kind of watch your back. That's why a lot of expats choose to stay away from other expats. But what I want to talk about is this. When you come here, first thing you want to do is find your location. And a lot of guys here, when they come here, they've already got the built-in Insta girlfriend meeting them at the airport or whatever, at the terminal, and they're all ready to take them home and, you know, set them up in their house and get them all settled wherever they live. And most expats probably are not going to like the place where their girlfriend takes them back to. I'm just being honest with you, because most of these girls live in substandard homes. If they're talking to you online, they're usually not middle-class women. They're usually of the poorer nature or lower middle class or whatever. And those are the ones you're probably not going to want to live where they want to live. They might be a nice girl. They might be a great girl. They might even live in a half-decent house. But most of these homes, you're not going to want to live in. They're substandard. You can go into them and fix them up, but they're substandard homes. And do you want to go in there and spend all your money and then a year later you break off? You got to be really, really careful. Make sure you're living in the place where you like to live. If you want to live near the beach, that should be the first place you start looking. If you want to live near the ocean, that's where you want to be. You don't want to be inland just because some vlogger said, I live inland, but I live fairly close to the ocean. I don't live far away. It's like about maybe a half hour, 40 minutes away, something like that, to the ocean. Okay, I can go down to Batangas probably within an hour or so, a little bit over an hour. I can go down there probably 2 hours. You know, it's fairly close. It's not far away. I can get down there, you know, and go find nice places down there. There's nice beach places, nice beach homes, you know. But I like Tracy. I like Tracy for many reasons. I mentioned that's my choice. Because of the VA, because I'm close to the places, I'm close to malls, I'm close to American foods, I'm close to everything I, as a person, need. It meets my needs, okay? If I move down by the beach or down to Batangas or one of those places, and I notice a lot of the expats do want to go down there, what happens is they find that they can't have a lot of the same things that they have up here. The foods are different. They're lesser quality. Things are harder to get. They run out more. Good water. It's one of the things that we you look for. I mean, I don't know if I would trust all the Blue Jug places at some of these places because they don't change the filters enough sometimes. So you got to be really, really careful of where you move to also. So you got to think about these things too when you're moving. And that's why I say 3 months at a place might be good. At least a month. And travel around to other islands. If you think you want to go to other islands, look around. But keep in mind again, the problem is you're going to be looking around in these places and you might find that, hey, this isn't for me. I don't have any good supermarkets. Check out the supermarkets in these areas because you're going to find that a lot of the food there is not that great. They don't have a lot of the items that we have back here around Manila. You're not going to find good cereal. You're not going to find granola. You're not going to find maybe you're looking for Cheerios or something like that. You're not going to find that stuff unless there's like a S&R or something like that near you, which most of those places are around Manila, you know, or around the big cities. Landers, places like that. You need to find places that sell American foods. And some stuff can be shipped to you through Lazada, and they will ship it to the place where you're at, you know, a little bit of a price. And you can still get these cereals and these foods that you like. But again, you know, it can be costly to have that stuff shipped to you. In some cases, it's not. Depends where you're shipping to. Each place, if you're shipping a box from Manila to Mindanao, of course it's going to cost you more. But if you're shipping from Manila to Cavite province or Tracy Martires, it's going to be cheaper. You know, and you need to consider all these things in where you're going to move. A lot of guys don't consider also their VA runs. They say, well, once a year I'm going to do a VA run. Okay, all of a sudden your whatever your disability is takes a turn for the worse. What do? What are you going to do when that happens? You need to be ready. You need to have the ability to get to these places fairly quick. If you need a good hospital nearby. A lot of older guys, I notice, they're moving to these places that are really far away. And a lot of these older guys are not even in good health. They're not in good health. And there's no really good hospitals really close by. And they got this attitude like, well, when I die, I'll die. You know, when you're dying and you're having a stroke or you're having a heart attack, and let's say you live through the heart attack or you live through the stroke, okay? And then suddenly you've got problems, you got issues, you can't function as well as you usually do, okay? And you need to go in to see the heart doctor once in a while, and you need to travel. Your ability to travel suddenly is gone. You're not feeling good when you're moving. Your ability, and plus there might not be a lot of grabs around there. There might not be a lot of transportation around there. These are things to take into consideration when you're looking. Look, guys, there's one thing I can say to all of you guys is this. Most expats that come here are coming here to retire. It means that we're going to live out our elder years here till we die. A lot of guys don't consider that back home, a lot of people check into nursing homes. A lot of people, when they get older, they check into a nursing home. And over here, you got the promises of the girls that, you know, I'll take care of you forever. If you get sick, I'll take care of you. There's a lot of little things that they can't do that you can do, such as calling a bank. If you can't talk or you can't speak because you had a stroke or something, you're kind of screwed. It kind of limits everything that you can do. If your brain is dysfunctional because of dementia or Alzheimer's, these are other things you have to take into consideration, you know, where you're going to move. Because if you start getting sick, you may want to stay in touch with people back home and have somebody back home that's willing to come over and maybe give them a bit of money to take you out of the country and take you back home and check you into, if you're a veteran, a soldier's home or a VA facility or a nursing home or whatever, because you're really, really sick and you can't function anymore. You may want to have a backup person that can help you because your mental facilities are gone. You know, so when you guys are looking for places, keep all this stuff in the back of your head. And a lot of people say, well, Steve, you overplan. You make it difficult to make a decision. You know, I might, but at least I get you thinking, you know, and that's the whole thing about this is safety. You know, when you're outside of your country, you lose tons of safety. Over here, do I ever feel totally safe living over here? Well, to be honest with you, back in the States, I never felt really totally safe with the way things are going on over there now. I actually kind of feel more safe over here because I am the one who controls my safety now. And my money, you know, goes a lot further over here and can buy me more of that safety, both in insurance and having good hospitals by, and I can control how close I am to places. I can also, and sometimes some of you guys, if you're well funded, you may want to think about having one place near Manila that somebody checks in on and cleans up every couple weeks, or just goes in there and checks it out. Have a place near Manila within an hour. Tracy Martires, perfect place. You can get places for $80 a month. Fix it up beautiful so that you can go there once in a while and still have like a mini vacation there, maybe every 3 months. You know, have something like that for $60, $80 a month, guys. You can have a beautiful apartment. Okay, and with AC in there if you want. You can put AC in it. Some places are 100. Look around, shop around. You know, these are safety nets for you guys. So when you're looking around, moving around, maybe you need 2 places. Maybe the place that you got near Manila as your first spot to try to find other places might be a good place to keep as a backup in case you need to go back. In case that place that you go to doesn't work out, maybe you decide to go back there because it's better off there. Maybe you want to be one of these guys that travels and just wants to go places and stay there for like a month or 2, but still have a core place back near Manila. It's always good to have a safety net and a backup. And I can't talk about this enough because there's a lot of guys that do have 2 places and there's a lot of guys that just have 1. But a lot of guys here that I noticed that I've been talking to recently are also considering having the 2 places rather than the 1, because the 2 places gives you that safety net for a lot of things. You go through something with a girlfriend, you can leave. You go through something with a wife or ex-wife, you can leave. You can, if you're going through something physical, mental, whatever it may be, and you need to be near better hospitals, guess what? You can go back to that place and you're close to a hospital. So think about your locations. Think about what you do. I can't stress this enough. It's a decision that you guys are going to be having to make while you're here. And the 2 places might be better than 1. A lot of guys say, well, I can spend $400 and I can get a place with a pool and stuff like that. Hey, that's great. You're going to spend $400. I can get 4 places furnished for that price and fairly decent and not bad. Okay. They might not have hot water or something like that, but they probably will, at $100 a month, they probably have AC. Why would I want 4 places? I'm just saying you could probably get 4 places if you wanted to, and I wouldn't want 4 places. Do I have 2 places? No, I have 1 because I don't travel that much. But people really need to have a safety and a backup, and keep things in your name, guys. Keep everything in your name over here as much as you can. A lot of guys, that's the biggest mistake that guys make over here. Putting things and trusting, and everybody that comes over here is always talking about buying property with their girlfriend or whatever. I think that's a big mistake. Unless you're married, I think it's a huge mistake because it's probably going to end up not being yours. At some point, it's going to end up not being yours. I see it happening all the time. These guys that come over here and they think that these people that they're hanging around with, they can trust, and they find out later on that they can't trust them. And they start finding out that these people are getting greedy, because they are. If somebody sticks things in my name, I'm not that type of person, but I'm saying there is a certain amount of greed that can enter your heart. You know what I mean? And when you trust these people, they come from nothing. So when they see a bunch of property going in their names, or you put a car in their names or a vehicle in their names, suddenly they start getting greedy and they change. And it changes the whole, I've talked about this many times, it changes the whole thing. Be careful how you handle stuff like that, guys. I just hate seeing people do that. Anyway, plan, guys. Plan. Stay safe. God bless. Take care, guys.